So hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we will go ahead and add a couple more functionalities to our application. However, one minor change which I have done here is that I have added these bold tags over here to the inner HTML of these tables, so that these things will actually look a little bit bolder and it will give a nice look and feel to the particular table which we have here. So the only thing which you need to do is that you need to append these break tags over here and append this GM, which stands for grams. So as this is calorie, I will just do kcal up over here. So this will actually look a lot better. Okay, so now after doing this, let's now learn how to go ahead and add a progress bar at the top up over here, which will display the total number of calories which are consumed in form of a graph or in form of a progress bar. So in order to do that, what we will do is that we'll go inside a container, which is this tag right here, and right inside this main container, after the container tag, we will go ahead and give some space in here by adding some break tags. So let me add a couple of break tags here. So when you go ahead and do that, as you can see, there will be a little bit of space left at the top. So now here I will say something like calorie goal, which will actually display the number of calories we are supposed to consume today. So in order to type that title in, I will first create a heading H4 and I will say calorie goal, and then I will again make use of a break tag to have some space, and right after that I will go ahead and create a row to actually hold our progress bar. So I will say div class equals row. In there I will create another div which is going to be for the column. So div class equals, let's say, col dash md dash 9. That means it will actually span 9 columns and there will be a offset of 1. So now once we have this specific column, I will now go ahead and create a progress bar in here. Now in order to create a progress bar, first of all I'll create a div here. So I will call it as div class equals progress. So this is nothing but a progress bar. And now in order to actually get a progress bar, you can actually get a progress bar from the Bootstrap's official website. So if you go ahead and search for Bootstrap progress bar, it will actually give you access to the Bootstrap's progress bar. So as you can see, these are the different kinds of progress bars which we have, and currently we actually want a progress bar which looks something like this. So you can select any one of these progress bars right here, go back here and paste it right up in there. So this is just a progress bar, and the role of this is going to be progress bar. The style is going to be containing the width. So let's go ahead and set the current width to 0%, and the area value, now let's set that value to 0 as well, and let's also set the maximum value to 0. So if you go back here and if you hit refresh, as you can see, you have your progress bar right up over here. However, it's actually sticking to this menu right here. So let's actually add some space in here. So I will again make use of a couple break tags here, and now this will look a little bit better. Okay, so now currently the progress bar appears to be empty. So in order to fill up this progress bar, you actually need to go ahead and set its attribute, which is nothing but the width attribute. So let's say if you go ahead and set the width to, let's say, 50%, let's see what happens. So if you go ahead and hit refresh, as you can see, the progress bar kind of filled up. However, we want to make this progress bar dynamic. That is, as the calories of the user increases, we want to go ahead and fill up this progress bar depending upon the total number of calories required. So we want to make this value of 50% as dynamic. So we are again going to do the same thing using JavaScript. However, even before that, let's actually try to change the color of this progress bar. So in order to change the color of this progress bar, you just need to go ahead and assign it a class which is bg-success. So I will say bg-success, and this will actually change its color to green. Okay, so that actually looks a little bit better. Now let's get back and change its width to 0%. And now let's dynamically assign the width to this particular progress bar. So let's say you actually want to now go ahead and mark this point as 0 calorie consumed, and let's say if the user's target is to go ahead and consume 2000 calories in a day, you actually now want to go ahead and mention that this point over here is 2000 calories. So as the progress bar progresses ahead, the calories would move from 0 to 2000. So first of all, let's go ahead and calculate the percentage of calories consumed. So in order to do that, I will get back into my script tag right at the very bottom, and in here let's calculate the current calorie percentage. So I will create a variable called as calper, which is calorie percentage, and it will actually go ahead, get the current calories and divide it by 2000. So the current calories are actually stored in a variable called as calories. So I will do calories divided by 2000, and when we multiply it by 100, it will actually give us the percentage of calories which are currently consumed as compared to 2000. So if the user's current consumption is 1000, so 1000 divided by 2000 would be 0.5. 0.5 into 100 would be 50%. So now once we have this percentage, now we just need to go ahead and assign this percentage to this particular progress bar which we have here. Now in order to assign properties to this particular progress bar, you first need to go ahead and get access to this particular progress bar. And now this progress bar does not have any sort of ID. However, it does have a class name which is called as progress bar. So let's make use of the same class name. Go back over here and get access to the progress bar. So I would say document dot get element, and now instead of using get element by ID, I would do get elements by class name. And here we want to get a class name which is progress bar, so I will get the progress bar here. And as we are using get elements by ID, this is actually used when there are actually multiple elements present on your site. So currently there is only one progress bar present. However, you need to mention that up over here that we are accessing the first progress bar. So the counting of any elements by class name starts from 0. So here I need to mention an index 0. This means we want to access the first progress bar. And now once we have the access to the progress bar, now instead of setting its HTML, we actually want to set its property or attribute, and that attribute is nothing but the width attribute. So now I will go ahead and make use of a method which is called as set attribute. So I will say this dot set attribute, and here you need to mention the attribute which you want to set. So I want to set the style of the progress bar. So I will type in style here, and from the style I actually want to set the width. So I will say width, and now I actually want to set the width equal to the calorie percentage which we have just calculated. So I will go ahead, and in order to append this value I will use a plus sign. So I will say plus calper, and then I will assign the percentage symbol right here. So I will add a % sign in here. So once this thing is done, this might seem a little bit confusing, but this is just what we have up over here inside the progress bar. It will actually go ahead and set the style equals width, then it will substitute this value 0 with the cal percentage, and it will append the % sign at the front. So now if I go ahead and save this, let's see if it works. So when I hit refresh, as you can see, the progress bar is right here, and that's because the total calorie consumption is 929 calories, which is around half of 2000, which appears to be so. Now let's try to add some calorie heavy meal over here, which is oats, and let's see if the progress bar moves ahead. So I will say oats add, and as you can see, as soon as I add that, it actually went ahead. So again, if I add that, it again moved ahead. If I add eggs, this actually moves ahead, but it moves at a very slow pace because eggs actually have less amount of calories. However, if you will notice, this actually works, and as you can see at this point we are almost at 1900 calories, and the progress bar is close to the mark. So now, as you can see, 1982 calories, and we are just about to touch the 2000 calorie mark. So that means we were successful in adding this particular progress bar to actually track the total number of calories consumed by a user against his target for the day. And that's it for this lecture, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.